Right, so I need to assess the situation of this channel really, and possibly change of pace, change of plan, things like this. I've been doing it for a reasonable amount of time, and it's sort of a bit of a difficult thing for me to think about whether or not I carry this on, or whether or not I change tact, or whatever it is, because the shut up iPad. The way it's currently going, it seems to be very boring, which I don't really like. I don't really like it to be boring, and I'm just trying to think there's a way to funkify it a bit and make it a bit more interesting, and maybe gain a bit more views and things like this. And I'm at a loss as to whether or not to carry on with it, to change it completely, or what to do with it. So, and as it stands at the moment, I'm sort of tempted to just say, sod it, I'm not going to worry about it. But I've got a video camera here, and I'm sort of thinking, well, it's a bit of a waste of money now. So I'm kind of now thinking what the hell to do, and whether or not to actually even carry on doing it. And I sort of wanted a bit of help from the community, really. Somebody said to me that I could do ranty stuff, and I was like, well, I don't really want to do that, because people just don't really like it. They give a crap about stuff like that, and just as another shouting Englishman amongst a sea of others, so that's pointless. And then somebody else said that perhaps I should carry on doing what I'm doing. I'm thinking, why? But it's sort of, it's just, I think it's boring. I don't find it, well, it's boring for me, and I think the way that I come across is very boring anyway, which isn't great. I don't want to do that, and I don't want to make long videos, because making long videos is pointless, because nobody watches it. Like this one will probably get minimal views because nobody ever watches shit. And I'm sort of, I don't know whether or not to carry on with it, or whether or not to give it up. That's basically the thing that I'm getting at the moment. And it's difficult to come up with content, and it's difficult for that content then to be pushed out to people. And if I'm getting stuff like 25 views, then there's no point me even creating content in the first place. And I realise that what I'm looking at is too niche, and this, that and the other. But I don't know. So what this is really about is asking you lot what you want to see, whether or not you want to see what I'm currently doing, which I think is very boring, and to be honest is probably going to be a dead end street, or whether or not you want to see something completely different. If you want me to do ranty sort of stuff, hilarious sort of stuff, make it really tongue in cheek, so provide some, not hilarious, but perhaps a bit funny or comical bits and pieces on how to do stuff, I'm not too sure. I did do a podcast before of like shouting like English rants about stuff, and it came out quite well, and there was quite a few people that used it. It was about 100 odd listeners, I think I got, and it was really good, and I thought it was a good way to vent anger, and a lot of people really liked it, and that was that was really good. But I don't know what to do with this, whether or not to keep it in the format that it is in, which I think is very boring. It's just too, I don't know, it's just not interesting enough really, and I don't want to make things boring, because it's just not, it's not fun for me. Like me editing the videos, it's just like, it's just crap. And I built a PC as well, that was the other thing. I built a PC and I filmed it, the video came out crap. But because the client wanted the PC there and then, I couldn't really then rebuild it. So I was thinking, well, so I'm a bit at a loss as what to do, whether or not to carry on doing what I'm doing, or to completely scrap it altogether and don't do any more, or change it entirely and go from there. I want to create something that's creative and something that's a bit more fun, and something that will actually get those that are interested in technology involved in technology, because you've got people like Soldier Knows Best, people like the other bloke which really gets on my nerves, William Johnson, Lamar Wilson. He does the Wilson Tech 1 show, which is alright. It's okay, and it's a bit tongue in cheek, but I don't find him very funny really. I find him very mature. But I could do things of that nature, maybe looking at current news, but I don't like to do stuff like that, because A, that means I've got to keep up the current news, and B, people don't generally watch it really, and B, and C, I'd have to get some really good video edits in here, and I'd have to get a proper setup, because at the moment you've got some shitty purple curtains in behind me. I've got, my desk lamp is currently reflecting onto my face, and it looks awful, and at the moment it's at night time. And my room isn't the most ideal location to do it, but there's not really anywhere else I can do it. So I'm sort of wanting some help really. This is sort of a bit of a question to put out to the community. What should I do? I'll post a video on Twitter and hopefully get a bit of feedback from there. But I'll post a couple more videos in a minute, maybe of a bit of a sarcastic nature, and then go and see what that happens, and then we should go from here. But for the moment, I'm thinking this channel may stop completely, and I might just say no to it, because it's not as popular, and I think that's probably my fault more than anybody else's. But it is difficult really for me to know where to go with it, and I don't want to. I know a lot of people find them quite interesting and get a lot of benefit from it, but I think a lot don't as well, and probably the majority don't, which is why there's not getting many views, because people aren't sharing it, and people aren't sharing it, and people don't view it. Not the DMZ one, which is alright, but it, you know, I think the one that got the most views on something like the iPad one, which I thought was a crap video. So you know, it's difficult, but leave a comment down below and maybe at me on Twitter or something like that what you reckon I should do, whether or not I should keep it as it is, change it, or completely ignore it and just not waste my time. Because if I want to know, you know, basically, because there's no point in me trying to make the effort of trying to push out videos if no one's going to watch them and no one's really enjoying them that much. So that's what I'm going to do, and then we'll go from there. But of course you can well, you can subscribe if you so wish, but again I'm not too sure the thing of it. But obviously following me on Twitter is usually the best way of doing it. Mainly because I was talking about stuff like the Super Bowl, which a lot of people find quite funny, but yeah, I mean, go on there and have a look and try and give me some bit of feedback on this so I know where to go. Apart from that, yeah, good to go, I suppose. I need to find a closing for this as well. I need to close this video some special way. Apart from not knowing what to do there, I'm just going to say like bye.